Hello everybody and welcome back again to Let's Play Rise of the Tomb Raider, and this is a little kind of bonus I suppose because we have already finished the main game. Oh well, 94% finished it, which is good enough for me I suppose. But we still have the second DLC, Croft Manor, and unlike the previous one, the Baba Yaga DLC, this one is not integrated into the main game, but it's just here in the menu. So I figured I'm just going to do it after I finished the game. And I have no idea how long this is going to take. I mean, the other DLC was not very long, so I guess 1, maybe 2 episodes at best. And maybe there will be a little bit of time left afterwards to give my opinion on the game. But yeah, without further ado, let's start this DLC and see what it's all about. Croft Manor, new story, blood ties. Begin a new Croft Manor blood ties story. New expedition, Lara's Nightmare, a bonus challenge set in Croft Manor for combat enthusiasts. Battle through the manor halls, gather weapons and ammo, and survive the nightmare. Well, that sounds great. No, I think I want to do the story, so let's do it. So I guess we're actually going to Croft Manor, which so far didn't really appear in the games, except in cutscenes.
Final notice to Lara Croft, a current tenant of premises. This is to serve as your final notice for the purposes of terminating your ownership of Croft Manor. You are required to immediately vacate and surrender possession of said manor to Atlas de Mornay, executor of estates.
Lara, it is unfortunate that you have forced my hand in this matter, but so be it. As you know, your parents appointed me executor of the estate in the event of their absence. Since your mother disappeared, her death was never technically declared. And given the circumstances surrounding your father's death, it's no surprise that he never drafted a formal last will and testament to account for this circumstance. Unfortunately, you have no legal claims to the estate. I'm willing to negotiate a modest monthly stipend from your trust, but only if you leave the manor by week's end. Don't fight me on this, Lara. Your mother wouldn't want that. Sincerely, Atlas.
There has to be a will or some kind of evidence of what happened to Mum in the manor, somewhere. Dad's safe.
Who is Atlas de Mornay and why does he have possession of Croft Manor? And I wasn't aware that Lara's mother disappeared. Did we hear about this before? We probably did, but I may have forgotten it. Anyway, we are indeed in Croft Manor and there's a bunch of stuff to look at. But she seems to be mostly interested in the safe, so let's have a look at it.
Needs a combination. It's got to be in Dad's papers somewhere. Maybe in the library.
Okay. So I guess we're going to check the library because we're looking for like a will to make sure that Croft Manor isn't going to that guy. Oh, look at that. The swirly chair is actually swirly. That's kind of neat. Anyway, let's look at some stuff here. I mean, this is something I can interact with, right? It definitely looks like it. There we go.
My birthday crown. I was so proud of that thing.
That's very cute.
That's my handwriting. My penmanship was pretty good.
The treasure of the ancients, okay. What else do we got here?
Well, this is a hell of a thing. I met someone tonight quite unexpectedly. But it shouldn't have been, it seems. I've been so buried in my work, so distracted by my latest revelations, I never bothered to notice my surroundings. But there she was, sitting at my table in the library. Her name is Amelia, and apparently she's been studying right next to me. Art history, of all things. I shared some of my research against my better judgment, but I wanted to see how she would respond, and she did not disappoint. I felt as if I was suddenly engaged in a mental game of chess, moving and counter-moving in argument. At one point, that poor old librarian had to shush us as if we were children. I feel so foolish for not having noticed her earlier. She's a brilliant woman who's challenged my ideas for the first time in memory. In truth, I don't know if she's feeling as exhilarated as I am right now, but I dare say our conversation was mutually stimulating. For the first time in a long time, I find myself thinking about something else besides my research. I hope she returns for another round tomorrow.
Okay, so is this how Lara's parents met? Also, I guess this is supposed to be a very old tape. I mean, it looks old, but it also sounds old, so that's another nice attention to detail. They made the sound a little bit old school.
My parents made a good team, challenging each other from the start.
Okay, it is her parents. I see. Anyway, what do we got here? Nothing apparently. It's empty.
Dad would have liked me to go to Oxford, but I insisted on UCL. Yep, looks real. Roth once offered to forge me a fake diploma to show Dad.
Did you really need a fake diploma? Find that hard to believe. Syria.
Dad's map of the forgotten cities of northern Syria. He was closer than he knew to finding the Prophet's tomb.
Okay, so this is where the game started, I suppose. Alright. Again, there's nothing inside. Oh, but there is in here.
Dad's book about immortality myths might be useful in my research.
Truth Behind Myth by Lord Richard Croft. Okay, but I can't investigate any further.
I finally introduced Richard to the family. It went precisely how I imagined. I see but polite grace from mother, indifference and disinterest from father, and thinly veiled contempt from Atlas. Of course they don't approve. To them, Lord Croft is the man who took away their beloved daughter and ruined her long-standing engagement, though I was never going to marry that repugnant Earl of Farringdon anyway. One might think they would be happy that I was being courted by a genuine lord of the realm. It just happens to be Richard Croft. In their eyes, the man who single-handedly ruined a once great family. But there's nothing to be done now. Watching how Richard dealt with their subtle insults and disrespect. Such grace and calm. I know he did it for me. I think I'm falling in love with this man. It will break my mother's heart, but I cannot live the life she imagined for me. My time with Richard has only made this clearer.
Okay, so Atlas is her mother's brother. I see.
It must have been hard for Mum to go against her family's wishes. I'm glad she did.
Well, otherwise you would not be here, I suppose.
A picture with Dad and Anna. Never liked wearing dresses, but the color was nice.
I feel you, Lara. I feel you. I never liked wearing dresses either. Oh, who's that?
This is probably my grandfather, Benjamin.
Okay, thank you for that information. Nothing to investigate, though. And, oh, there's something inside here.
One of Dad's Yoruba masks. A gift from a friend he met on an expedition in Nigeria.
And you're just stashing it away in some cabinet? Shouldn't you put it, like, on the wall, maybe? Alright. Yeah, looks like I looked at everything in here, so I suppose we should go and find the library now. Since I can't open the safe without the code.
The door to the library.
Okay, library's over here.
Locked. There's got to be another way through.
Okay, I don't have the keys to this, really? That sucks.
This is the map I made for my first expedition with Dad. It shows a path to the library through the servants' passages.
Okay. So, where exactly are we now? I mean, this is a study, I suppose, where I just came from with a swirly chair. So, through the corridor and then somewhere to the right.
Wait, I can get to the library through the old servants' corridor.
Okay. Well,
Dad's artifacts from the Nile Valley. I always loved looking at these.
okay, let's have a look at it.
Dad became interested in immortality myths after his expeditions to Egypt.
Okay, nothing to investigate. It's just an Ankh symbol and that's it. So, yeah, this looks like a secret passage and lots of fingerprints on it. Find a
dark.
flashlight.
Going to need a flashlight.
Well, it's not as easy as it seems.
Hi, Dad. I've been thinking about Mum lately. I wish I knew more about her. How did you meet? What was she like? Winston told me that she was a brilliant artist. Are some of her paintings locked up in the West Wing? And I guess I just want to know, did she love me, Dad? Did she ever say that she did? Maybe I'm just being silly, but will you tell me more about her the next time I'm home from school?
Okay. Guess she must have died when Lara was really young. Well, apparently she didn't just die, she just disappeared. It's weird.
Lara, I've reviewed the report from your therapist. I have to say I was surprised to see a clean bill of health. I somehow doubt you've so easily abandoned your irrational claims. Indeed, where have you been the past few weeks? My secretary discovered that you booked a flight to Turkey on the 20th. You can't have been simply sightseeing, as your customs claims suggest. I know you're up to something, and I'll be damned if I let you use the Croft assets to indulge the same obsession that led to my sister's death. It's not too late to relinquish your claims on the Manor voluntarily. If you refuse, I will find a way to cut you off. Sincerely, Atlas.
Okay. So now she's dead after all, so what is it? Is she dead or did she disappear? I mean, those are two distinct things, I would say.
Well, hello there, Sir Lancelot. Don't worry, it won't be boring your sword this time.
Well, who knows? We might need it. This place is slightly creepy.
The Grand Hall.
Ooh.
Always loved playing in here as a kid. This will be one of the first things to fix.
Yeah, this place has seen better days. I guess no one has been living here for a while already.
What are you doing sitting there on the floor, Mistress Lara?
Looking at the compass, thinking.
What about, if I may inquire?
Just thinking about discovering faraway places, about finding adventure.
I'm sure you will, my lady. You've the soul of an explorer. But don't grow up too fast.
Okay, some flashbacks. Anyway, can I look at this? Yes, I can.
The offer came in the post last week, and I still haven't told Richard. He flew ahead to Tibet, where I will meet him shortly. I never told him I was submitting my work. Never thought there was a chance of being accepted. Oh, but a gallery tour is not something I can pass up. The show will take me away from England for over a year. I'll begin in New York and travel across the United States and, oh, God, I'm giddy even writing these words. When Richard and I were married, I was prepared to relegate my painting to a hobby, but it was Richard who objected, who gave me my atelier and studio. Without that support, I might still be painting boring landscapes. Now I can't shake the foolish sensation that leaving would be a betrayal. He will laugh at that and insist I accept, even though I know it will break his heart to be apart. He never once asked me to sacrifice any part of my life for his. I have, of course, in 1,000 small ways over the years, but he would never ask. The discussion can wait, and I will join him in Tibet. I won't cast a shadow over his find. I will be by his side in his triumph, as I know he will stand by my side, in time.
Well, I suppose that triumph didn't happen for neither of them. See more stuff over here. There's a lot of stuff to look at in this manor.
Another one of Dad's immortality artifacts. I think Roth bought this for him from a trader in Greece.
And apparently he collected everything about it. I see.
Lara, since your return from your expedition to Yamatai, I've grown increasingly alarmed at your erratic behavior. I can only assume you suffered some kind of psychological trauma and are only acting out as a call for help. I want you to know that I hear you, loud and clear. Anna and I agree that it's time for you to be evaluated by a professional. I took the liberty of arranging an introduction to a highly qualified colleague of mine. You should be receiving the details in the post soon. I want to impress upon you the importance of this, Lara. As executor of the estate, it is my duty to see that it is left in capable hands. And if I may be blunt, you're acting like your father when he was at his worst. He nearly lost the manor himself in those days. I'd hate for you to repeat his mistakes. I encourage you to embrace the help I'm offering. Sincerely, your uncle.
Yeah, I don't think you're acting out of concern for Lara. So there's that.
Hey, Jonah. Sorry for not getting back to you sooner. I've decided to do some research at the manor. A lot has happened, and I need some time to think about what I want to do next. This old place is filled with memories and secrets. Uncle Atlas has tried to keep me out of here for so long, I don't even know if I want to keep it. But after everything that's happened, maybe I can find out what it still means to me. If it's worth fighting him for. I'll let you know how things worked out when I'm back in London.
Okay, so that's why she's here.
Got to remember to pack this for my next trip.
Oh, it's the flashlight. That's what I've been looking for. Yes, new gear acquired flashlight.
Should be able to explore the dark now.
The flashlight will turn on automatically when entering dark areas. Okay, so I guess we're going back to the secret passage. I mean, I'm sure there's more stuff to explore here, but let's focus on our main objective at the moment. Let's go down here. Use the servant's passage to get to the library. She's walking very slowly. Oh, well,
Falling apart. Maybe I should just let my uncle have this place.
or maybe you should just repair it. That's also an option. Okay, another locked door. Opening this object requires a master key.
They say a good test of a relationship is how well you travel together. Well, I'd say Amelia and I have passed that test with flying colors. Indeed, these last few months in Egypt have been nothing short of extraordinary. She and Roth get on like old uni chums. In fact, the two have spent more than a few nights drinking and playing cards into the wee hours. Despite her decidedly proper upbringing, Amelia's taken to roughing it more than I ever have. She fits in and connects with the local populace with such amazing empathy. Because of her, I've had a bit of an unexpected breakthrough in my research. She managed to convince an artifact dealer in Old Town to sell me a magnificent and quite unusual Tibetan scroll. From what I can tell, it seems to contain details surrounding an immortality ritual of some sort. I think it's time for me to take the next step with Amelia. In fact, I don't think I can wait any longer. I will ask for her hand tomorrow in the bright Egyptian sun amidst the dust and ruins.
I suppose that's the most romantic setting an archaeologist can think of.
I'm not surprised he asked her to marry him as soon as he got the idea.
And of course it had to be in a historically important place. Well, the place is getting even creepier down here.
Amelia, I know we have had our differences in recent years. I've tried my best to keep an open mind about your relationship with Richard, but I just can't let you go on this ill-conceived expedition without saying my piece. You say Richard's theories have merit. You say that he may have actually stumbled upon some mythic, unknown truth, but I have seen nothing to support such claims. And while your word may have been enough in times past, I cannot let you squander away what remains of your name and reputation, and that of our family, truth be told, on some damned foolish crusade. I intend to go to Richard's investors and let them know exactly how he's spending their money, but I want to give you a chance to put a stop to this yourself. Please, don't go to Tibet. If not for me, at least for Lara.
Yeah, I don't know if I like you, Atlas. Who's called Atlas anyway? Oh, well,
Still just as creepy as I remember.
I suppose I found the wine cellar. Tch. Yeah, sorry game. After playing Resident Evil 2, this doesn't scare me anymore. Oh, what is this? I can move this to open a passage, I suppose. Yep, but there's stuff to read over here as well.
My lord, I hope this missive finds you on a successful expedition and in good health. Before I bore you with estate affairs, I wanted to let you know that our little angel has been into some mischief. As always, I indulged her in our usual game of chess. Over the course of the game, she broached the subject of her mother. She's having trouble remembering her now, and wanted to enter her ladyship's atelier, which you sealed off, to play on her mother's piano. It enraged her when she wasn't allowed to go in, of course. For someone so young, she has such strong emotions. Later in the day, she set a trap for me in the walk-in freezer, of all places. Before I knew what was happening, I found myself locked inside. Mrs. Sheffield discovered me an hour later, shivering and somewhat peeved. It took us an additional hour to find Lara in the grounds. I know all her hiding places, of course, but this time she really did not want to be found. Call it years of observation, but I can tell when she's out of sorts. My lord, if I may be so bold, she misses you fiercely. She is lonely for her father. Please consider a call as soon as you are able.
So this has been written by Winston, the butler, I suppose. I think he was called Winston in the original games, and we all locked him in the freezer, I suppose, at some point. Yeah, Winston. And apparently the father sealed the mother's rooms after her death. That is such a gothic horror trope. It's kind of funny.
Winston. I remember being so angry. He was always so patient with me.
Yep, he was also very patient when we locked him in the freezer. Come on, who didn't do that in the previous games?
We're going to win this time, Winston.
Clever girl. But you should know by now, winning isn't everything. Queen to king's bishop 6. Check.
Easy for you to say. You always win. Knight takes queen.
What I mean to say is try to enjoy the journey, Lara. Don't rush to victory. Bishop to king 7.
I know, Winston. I just want... Oh no! I didn't even see that.
You should also know by now, I'm not to be trifled with on this board, young lady. Mate.
Oh, I am going to win. Someday.
I would play chess with our old butler Winston on this board. Never could beat him. I always chose white. Maybe if I let him go first once in a while, I might have won.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe he would have let you in if you give him white. But why should he? Okay, I can't open this because I need a crowbar for it. Alright, let's see. What else do we got here?
I'm at a crossroads now. Good Lord, that's such a cliche. But there's truth in it. 2 roads before me. Both present joy and compromise. A life with Richard, adventure, intellectual pursuit, perhaps a new family. But also a man obsessed with something I cannot understand. Or a life of obligation, upholding the de Mornay name, embracing our traditions, not losing the family that raised me. Oh, this really is a rubbish choice. I don't want to lose them, but I love the life I've started to build with Richard. He comes with his own difficulties, but I can accept them. Will it be enough?
I guess it was for a time. Got more stuff over here.
Everything is almost ready for Mistress Lara's birthday expedition surprise. It's been a bit of an all-hands-on-deck effort organizing the affair and keeping it secret. She's obsessed with Egypt, memorizing hieroglyphs and ancient Egyptian districts, so she'll be delighted with what Lord Croft has come up with. This will be good for her. She's been acting up of late, but I know she's just craving more of her father's attention. He's been so buried in his research. It'll be a nice moment for the 2 of them to reconnect. And I do believe he needs it as much as she does.
I honestly think that little Lara Croft is me, because I also memorized hieroglyphs and ancient Egyptian districts, or at least pharaohs, when I was a kid. I was also obsessed with Egypt. That's funny. Oh, what is this over here? Oh, this is something I can move. I see. Let's do it. Can pull this over here, I hope. And now I can pull this one. Aha! Guess that did the trick. Oh, what is this?
Dad loved a good bottle of wine. I can still smell his favorite Bordeaux.
Okay, this is just a piece of a wine bottle. Okay.
Dad, this is it! The basement of despair.
Indeed, Lara. Muster your courage, for this is the only path to the Library of Infinite Knowledge.
Look there, see the string?
An ancient Egyptian tripwire. The Keepers of Knowledge want none to disturb their treasures. We must tread carefully.
Let me lead. I know how to spot all the traps.
I'm sure you do, my darling. Lead on.
Ancient Egyptian tripwire. That's the worst kind. And look at those handmade Egyptian statues over here. Okay, seems that there's several ways I can go here, so I hope I'm on the right track. This is a dead end. Oh, I think I found one of the ancient Egyptian trapwires. Look at this.
One of the wire traps Winston made for my birthday expedition.
That must have been a really great birthday party. It sounds amazing.
Water damage from the main hall above.
Okay. Yeah, the whole thing is starting to cave in apparently. Okay, seems like I made it to somewhere. And again, this is something I can't open. Alright. Can you climb this, please? Thank you. What do we got over here?
Plans for adding electricity to the manor. Dad used to say his granny hated all the bright lights. There's a missing page.
Okay. I wonder why this is significant.
Amelia left tonight. She packed her suitcase and walked right out of here, and I didn't even notice. Like those days in the Oxford Library before we even met. I just had my nose in a book, lost in my own world. I am such a fool. I have let my obsession with this damned ritual of long life rule my better judgment for far too long, and it may already be too late. How could I have not seen this coming? I've made this mistake over and over, always putting my research before my personal life. But it's never hurt like this before. I simply cannot live without her. If I have to give up this accursed quest that has plagued me for so long, then so be it. I am going after her, right now, tonight.
Okay, so she did leave. But is that the disappearance they were talking about? I don't know. Ah,
Okay, Dad's ledger has to
library.
be here somewhere. Hopefully it has the combination to the safe.
Search for the combination in the library. Well, I can already see a lot of stuff, so let's start looking around.
I've created a clever little map for Lara's birthday expedition. I used the invisible ink Amelia picked up for me in Morocco so many years ago. At the time, I remember being so annoyed by that rather aggressive street vendor, but she just smiled in her sunny way and paid him without a second thought. I assumed it was just a tourist scam, but it actually works. Turns out it requires a very specific kind of vellum and a heat source to illuminate the ink after it's dried. It should prove a nice challenge for Lara to puzzle out.
Okay, invisible ink. Let's try to remember that. What else do we got here? We have ladders leading to the next floor.
I always accepted that Richard's rather unorthodox research was just something I had to live with. But this time, the thrill of discovery has taken hold of me. I never imagined I could be drawn in this way. Richard cabled to tell me he's found the monastery. The symbol we deciphered in the scroll was the key to its location. I don't know if I honestly believe that this will lead to the fabled elixir of life, but I can't help but feel that a great secret awaits us there. My brother was threatening to shut down the expedition, but I managed to talk him down for the time being. Now I am going to meet Richard. I would bring Lara if I could, but she's still too young. She'll be in good hands with Winston, and when we return, her parents might just be a bit more famous.
Of course, all these entries are kinda out of order, so it's not that easy to piece them together. Alright. Ooh, what do we got here?
This music is familiar. It's beautiful.
Well, what is it? Oh, I know why it's familiar. That's the music from... I don't remember if it was in the first game, but I'm pretty sure it was in the second, when you were in Croft Manor, which was kind of like your tutorial level. You could turn on music, and I think it was the same piece of music. So, that's a nice detail.
It appears Sir Reginald's helmet fell off. Or didn't I put it back properly?
Probably. Heads usually don't fall off like that. Okay. This is locked, and I still haven't found any clues about the combination.
For God's sake, memorize the combination, you fool. Lara's expedition treasure. My favorite painting by Amelia. The day of our wedding anniversary.
Okay. So, this is kind of like a help for him to memorize a combination. Let me write that down. I mean, I still have the document in my menu, but then I won't have to find it again. So, Lara's expedition treasure, favorite painting, and wedding anniversary. Okay, so I'm guessing somehow these three things will lead me to the combination.
Okay, got to find those objects to figure out the combination to the safe. There's something else here.
Okay, what is it?
Dad's lighter. I don't remember him ever using it, though. The Croft family crest and initials PC. I wonder if this belonged to my grandfather.
Probably. So, I have a lighter now.
Okay, should be able to light the fireplace now.
Press and hold E when near fireplaces throughout the manor to light them. Okay. I see one over here. Let's light it. Okay, well, it's making the whole place a lot more homely.
One of Winston's notes. He always hid sweets for me to find.
Lara, Jaffa cakes next to William Blake. Okay. Well, as long as you know where to find William Blake, I guess that's a nice surprise.
I remember this now. Each district in ancient Egypt had a symbol and a number. I always preferred these symbols to the actual number hieroglyphs.
Okay. That might be useful. It says safe combination clue, so this must be a clue. I'm guessing we will find like maybe a hieroglyph somewhere and we have to find the corresponding number. Okay.
Now, let me see. These two myths are referencing the same source material. But where did I see this image?
Dad, I think it's this one, in the chapter on Egyptian districts.
Why, yes, I think you're right, Lara.
I remember the page with the illustration of Ra.
My goodness, you've been paying attention, haven't you? This could be an important breakthrough.
Does this mean I'm your research assistant?
That and more, my darling girl.
Takes me back. Those were good times. The best times.
Indeed. But apparently there's more here.
This was always one of my favorite books in this library. I used to trace hieroglyphs.
Alright. But nothing to examine. I remember I also had like a book on ancient Egypt. It wasn't actually mine, it was from the school library. And I used to lend it for like a month and then return it, and only to lend it again the next day, because I always wanted to have that book with me. So basically I permanently landed that one Egyptian book from the school library.
I've reached the monastery. As Roth predicted, it was hidden deep in the Himalayas, and now that I'm standing on these high stone walls, I am overwhelmed by the sheer beauty of the mountains that surround me. It is simply breathtaking. But what adds to their spiritual majesty is the truth of this place. The monks welcomed me, as is their way, but they seemed to expect me. They must have known someone like me would eventually come seeking answers. I know this is the place. They've conducted the ritual before. I have seen the evidence, the distinctive symbols carved into the floors, the art displayed on the inner chamber's walls. They've created the elixir before, and they will again if I can convince them. I sent Amelia a message straight away. I want her by my side for this discovery.
Well, apparently that didn't work out.
Dad was looking for an elixir. Was it the elixir of life?
Unless the elixir of life has something to do with the divine source. Yeah, I think I've found everything down here, but we do have a ladder, which means we can get up to the next floor.
Took quite a tumble off of this old thing when I was a girl. Still feel it in the shoulder from time to time.
Oh, I have to move it. Okay. Ah, now I can move this. And yeah, I see. I see what you want me to do here. Now we're going to move the ladder back over here. There we go. So, what can we find in this part of the library?
Blank, except for the image of a key.
Invisible ink?
I remember this map now. It leads to the master key, but we made it with a special kind of invisible ink.
Yes.
It could only be seen with the heat of a fire.
Alright. In that case, I know exactly what to do here. We are going back down.
I stashed one of Winston's master keys in here when I was a kid.
Yeah, but first I need to decipher what's on this blank page. So let's go back to the fire and let's see if this works.
I can see the map. Looks like the key is hidden under a trunk near the bookcase.
Okay.
X marks the spot, as they say.
Trunk near a bookcase. Oh, is it this one? Ah, that's quite well hidden.
The master key. This should get me into the West Wing.
Okay, there we go. So finally I can open all the doors in here.
All right. This should open most rooms in the manor, including the Forbidden West Wing.
The Forbidden West Wing, okay. Yeah, I haven't even been to that place yet. But what about the doors in here? We have a few doors in here that I hopefully can open with this.
I think there might be more clues to find in the library.
Huh. Where exactly am I now? I think this is the corridor where we started. But apparently I still need more clues in here. I mean, we have that door on top of this. So I should... no, I want to climb the ladder. Let's check out the door over here as well. And right, the box over here. I can open this one as well.
The Pharaoh's crown from my birthday treasure hunt. How old was I again? 6? 8? I think this hieroglyph corresponds to a number. But which one?
Well, we can find out because we found the document and I guess this might be our first number for combinations. So, let's have a look at our...
For God's sake, memorize the...
No, not this one. I want the piece of paper that has all the hieroglyphs on them. Save combination clues. Atlas de Monet, Amelia's journals, Winston. Messages. Oh, it's this one. It's under relics.
I remember this now. Each district in ancient Egypt had a symbol and a number. I always preferred these symbols to the actual number hieroglyphs.
Okay, so the number we're looking for is 5, because that's the hieroglyph we found on the crown. So, I'm going to write down 5. That's probably my first combination number. Okay. So, we still need to find Lord Croft's favorite painting and his wedding anniversary. Okay.
Okay. Dad's clues mention Mum's paintings and their anniversary. Hopefully I can find some answers in the West Wing.
West Wing, okay. Yeah, now I'm back in the study. I see. So, the west wing would be over here. Ah, okay. I see. I see. 2 more clues that I need to find.
Lara, you know the West Wing is off limits.
I'm sorry, I just wanted to see.
We've been through this.
Was Mum's room in here?
Just stay out of there, darling.
Dad was always so protective of the West Wing.
Yeah, seriously, why would you do that? Oh, what did I find here?
A phoenix figurine. I bet this appealed to Dad's idea of immortality, of rising from the ashes and being born anew.
Obviously. And we have even more stuff to investigate over here.
This belongs to Anna. Most of her belongings are in the guest house. What was she doing in here?
I don't know. She wasn't living here?
Someone has a sense of humor.
Stop smoking. Love R. Right, Anna was smoking occasionally during the game, I remember.
The Croft family crest.
That's pretty cool. Alright, I guess this is the mysterious West Wing that we finally can enter. But I think we're going to do this in the next episode. So this is actually going to take at least 2 episodes. We still need to find 2 more clues. And then we hopefully can open the safe back in the study. So yeah, as usual, thank you for watching. And see you again next time.